Joetta Clark-Diggs, now 38 years old, or will be next month, a three-time Olympian. And Joetta's younger sister, they call her Peachy, only 22 years old. That's Hazel Clark. There you see Joetta in lane 2, Hazel 3, Gerald Miles Clark in 4, and JJ is JJ Clark, who is the coach. Joetta Clark-Diggs, Hazel Clark, and Gerald Miles Clark.
I'll tell you one thing. The last time all three runners for the Olympic team spots were not under 2 minutes was back in 1980. There were 5 under 2 minutes in 1996.
Top 3 finishers make up the U.S. Olympic team. And this is a fair start at 800 meters. They begin in lanes. And as they come around that next turn, they will be braking for the inside.
Looks like Meredith Baumann is trying to get out front and control the race. Hazel Clark, the one with the long legs, is pulling up into second position. She said, Coach JJ said, Hazel, don't do any razzle-dazzle. Just get in there, get out about 300 meters, see where you are, and go to your plan.
Well, Meredith Baumann is taking the lead here, with Gerald Miles Clark in second place on her outside. Diaz comes into third. Hazel Clark is fourth. Then Ave. And at the moment, Joetta Clark-Diggs trails the field.
Well, at this point, you've got Gerald running the type of race you'd expect her to, guarding her position. There are 4 women in the race who really can't go out fast with the top runners, who are going to hope that something opens up for them in the final 100 meters. And I think that's Joetta's thinking right now. Stay out of the pushing, stay out of the bumping here in last place, make one move with 150 meters to go.
Into the final lap, and it's Hazel Clark that moves by to take the lead. Meredith Baumann still there second. Gerald Miles Clark is in third. It's a battle up front between Hazel Clark and Meredith Baumann, and now Gerald Miles Clark goes by. Gerald Miles Clark takes over the lead. Hazel Clark is second. Meredith Baumann is in there in third.
And Joetta is trying to get in position to strike off the turn. The great thing is there's no wind out there, so leading early, you're not going to pay a big price for it.
It's the 3 members of the Clark family and Meredith Baumann as they hit the home straightaway. Hazel Clark has the lead. Gerald Miles Clark is second. Meredith Baumann is third. Joetta Clark-Diggs is fourth. Top 3 for Sydney. It's Hazel Clark, Gerald Miles Clark. The battle for third. Baumann and Clark-Diggs to the line. The lead is very close. A last lunge by Joetta Clark-Diggs might have nipped Baumann. They'll have to look at the photo.
You know, Tom, I talked to Joetta, and she said, I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to make this team. If I have to run 156, I'm going to run it. This is my last go-around, and I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make this team. And take a look at Hazel Clark beating out American record holder Gerald Miles Clark. But take a look at Joetta right there.
Oh.
We're going to definitely have to look at the photo. My God.
There was also some bumping there, so there might be some little question about what happened at the lunge for the tape. But as you said, everyone did what they thought they had to do, no matter how hard it was to make the team. Meredith Baumann said, I'm going to lead from the start. I'm not going to get mixed up with these sisters. And then Hazel came up with the race of her life.
Kind of a mistake here. You see, on the second from the right of your screen, you see Meredith Baumann. She moved out into lane number 2, which allowed Joetta Clark to come up on the inside. They say hug that line because Joetta was coming up on the inside. If Meredith Baumann would have stayed on the inside, Joetta would have had to go around her, and it would take a longer time.
It appears that Joetta Clark-Diggs, with a final lunge, made it a 1-2-3 finish for the Clark family.
Really? Wow. I didn't think so.
Well, the veteran knew how to lean at the tape. That's what all you have to say.
And heartbreak for Meredith Baumann, who was right there till the very last half stride. We'll hear from all the participants at 800 meters when we return to Sacramento. Final results, women's 800 meters. She's no longer the baby of the family. Hazel Clark wins the race, but the battle was for third in the final spot. Meredith Baumann let Joetta Clark-Diggs come inside her, and at the tape, Joetta Clark-Diggs with a lunge and got the third and final spot. Gerald Miles carried from the track after finishing second in that race, but the Clark family 1, 2, 3. There was Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Have the entire family, JJ, the coach, Joe, the father of 2 of these women. Let me first start with you, Joetta. Tell us about that lunge.
Well, that was a tough race for me today. But you're only as strong as your weakest link. And I was definitely a weaker link out of the two. But I just wanted to come home with all I had. And hopefully that'd be enough for us to sweep the event.
Congratulations, Hazel. You're the youngest. Was there a family strategy today?
Yeah, the family strategy was just to be tough. And that came through. We wanted to go out there, be tough and focus. And we knew we'd all be on the team if we did that.
All right, Gerald. You had some problems after the race. Can you tell us your condition?
Oh, I'm fine. I just didn't get enough fluids in me. And caught up with me at the end. Hazel ran a terrific race. I ran on the outside much of the time, but all three of us did it, and we're happy.
Congratulations to y'all, to the entire family. Quite a down here. Back upstairs to you, Tom.